both coneflowers, two different species of coneflowers. So, cool thing about most of your coneflowers, if you ever dig up the roots and you chew on them, it's like Novocaine. Your whole mouth will go numb.
Really?
So there's a lot of, you read back through the history, a lot of the flowers that came from the Native Americans. Most flowers had some sort of a medicinal purpose, whether it was to do an upset stomach, cure a headache, toothache, something like that. So if you ever get a book that's got a lot of the history, the Native American history about plants, there's all kinds of them that are used for something that ails you. The local Pheasants Forever chapter, and then us. And then the old landfill is actually inside there. About the same time, we actually reseeded the whole landfill back to native grass up there. So the walking trails and all that, the ones that we reseeded that, I think 2 different times. Some spots caught, some spots didn't. So over top of the old landfill, the city actually converted it back to native grass. It was an old brome, crappy looking field that wasn't getting much use. I think the park, I mean, you'll probably know more. The park's used, I mean, as soon as you pull in here, there's 3 or 4 people wanting to get in here. So it's a great little asset for the city, and we're just glad that we were able to take part, you know, with our local Pheasants Forever group, Funds for Fish and Wildlife Service, and us. This actually cost the city nothing when we did everything for free. So, with just all the groups involved and stuff like that. So, a couple things that us as the Conservation District, Joan and I are involved in, is the Water Festival up on campus. I don't know how many people have ever heard of the Water Festival on campus. About, 1,400 fourth graders?
About 1,100, 1,200 fourth graders.
From all the schools in the area go up to the campus for one day, and it's put on teaching about water quality, habitat, you name it. You buy this box, you can send in the back and you actually get a seed packet to plant grass and flowers in your backyard. So when you see huge companies like this out there promoting, you know, stuff like that, obviously, you know, it's definitely an issue out there. So, you know, you can actually buy this box in stores right now. It's crazy to think of that. General Mills actually has grants and stuff out there for different agencies to apply for to do stuff like this now.
I want to just talk to you a couple of things about the bees. And, you know, everybody knows the role of bees in honey. And we know about pollinating apples and cherries and our favorite fruits. But it goes way beyond that. A landscape like this is beneficial to the honeybees by giving them diverse pollen. Diversity is like what gives you your strength or your health. So you see that landscape, all these different pollens, looks like having a lot of different fruits and vegetables for the bees. So a landscape like this, honey rich one part of the year and pollen rich the other part of the year, it's wonderful to see that because bees stay healthy on a landscape like this. So what we can do to keep bees healthy, you know, obviously helps the bees, helps the beekeeper, it helps all of nature because everything's interconnected. You know, there's predators out here, there's lacewings that are probably eating the aphids over there. So we get all this economic spillover from our conservation efforts into, you know, the economics that keep South Dakota healthy and make it an enjoyable place to live. So, you know, this big spillover effect, 15, 20, sometimes 30%, depending on the varietals and the weather, gain within that first half a mile where a bee site is. So ideally, I'd like to see more spots like this to get that free benefit instead of, you know, fighting nature and have to call in, you know, oh, I got aphids, we got to spray. If we had more sites like this, we'd have the lacewings and the ladybugs eating those bad bugs, so we wouldn't have that expense. And that expense, we could keep that money in South Dakota, and the families could have, you know, a better return and a better way to stay on the farm and more money spent in our local community. So anything we do with the conservation effort comes back to benefit the whole community of agriculture in South Dakota. And if any of you are decision makers at the state level, there's one thing I think you can do at state level that will have an immediate effect on conservation and pollinators. Very quickly, like tomorrow, integrate a spot spray. Nobody wants an invasive like a Canadian thistle or a Russian thistle, but we just spot spray. It's marvelous how much it comes back. The state's doing a little better job on the interstate system because they're avoiding the waterways. You go up and down 29 or 90, and where the waterways is, where they shut off the sprays and they quit blanket spraying, there's just an explosion of wildflowers and clovers, and it's like, wow, what resources we could have for conservation, what spillover we could have to the fields around South Dakota if we just went to a less aggressive program for trying to control our invasives. so I think that's something that we can do. We can spend less money, and we can have less environmental impact and have a win-win for everybody. And so if I could have, one thing that, a policymaker could make a decision and talk to the highway departments or funding, it's like, let's go to a big spot spraying program instead of the blanket spraying. Farmers are buying cover crops, putting them in. We're talking soil health now, water quality. That all makes environmental quality, which makes our pollinators and our predators better to service our agriculture community. So thank you all.